A book about Vaughan's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later.
Impossible.
I am sorry, but there is nothing I can do for you here.
There's number 20. Dana's old house. It's no longer an art gallery at any rate. Looks like it's been turned into another shop for tourists.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. On holiday in the region, Fräulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service.
I must say you have a beautiful shop, Frau Heigl.
Thank you, Fräulein. All our souvenirs are made for excellence, as we like to say here, all by local craftsmen. Were you looking for something in particular?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the Roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fraulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fraulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
If I could manage to draw Frau Heigl this way, I'd be able to get through the service door and to the staircase without her noticing. But how?
Don't even think about it, Kate Walker. Haven't I already been damaged enough during your adventures?
That doesn't work. Wrong one. No. Made in Wagen. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think.
Excuse me, I must just serve the gentleman.
Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council. Some of the names are covered up with dirt, How could I clean it?
No, Kate Walker.
Protests in the neighborhood and a big storm coming tonight. I sure wouldn't want to be in the mayor's shoes right now. Anyway, I'd better focus back on Dana. It's right in Frau Heigel's line of vision, too. I'm gonna have to draw her away if I want to sneak through that service door to the upper floors.